Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really unpack the stories behind the headlines, give you the insights that matter. And today we're looking at a press release from Canaan Inc. Now, they're a big name in Bitcoin mining hardware. On the surface, it might look like just another announcement, but this particular deal, it seems to show some pretty big shifts happening in digital assets. So our mission today is to really get into the specifics, figure out the implications for Bitcoin mining overall, and maybe see what it tells us about, tech supply chains globally. Okay, so let's get right into it. The core news. Canaan Inc. They're known innovators in crypto mining. They've announced this significant purchase agreement with Cipher Mining Inc. Basically, Canaan's U.S. arm is going to supply Cipher with around 6,840 of their Avalon A15 Pro miners. The announcement itself was July 17th, 2025. Delivery expected in the third quarter of this year. And it's interesting, Cipher actually locked these miners in using an option they announced way back in June 2024. So they planned ahead.
Yeah, and looking at the logistics, the miners are coming from Canaan's facilities in both the U.S. and Malaysia, which, highlights this sort of global but increasingly regional supply chain approach they're taking. And they're all heading to Cipher's Black Pearl facility. So that tells you exactly where Cipher is focusing its expansion efforts right now. What's really fascinating here, I think, is that this marks Canaan's, their first major push to offer large-scale domestic manufacturing support aimed squarely at U.S.-based Bitcoin miners. This isn't just about, moving some assembly lines. It feels more like a strategic move by Canaan to de-risk things. Potentially lets them charge a bit more for made-in-USA hardware, maybe positions them better for any future incentives or market shifts. It's about building resilience, securing market share, not just competing on price anymore.
Right, and this timing is really interesting, isn't it? This strategic move from Canaan lands right when the market seems ready for it. It really underlines this growing demand for mining gear. Bitcoin's price has momentum again, and critically, miners seem to be unlocking more power sources. Canaan's chairman and CEO, Nanjing Zhang, actually commented on this directly. He said, as the price of Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs, we're seeing a notable uptick in demand from our global customers.
Exactly. And Zhang also talked about how customers adapt to tariff pressures and are reassessing their supply chain strategies. When he says tariff pressures, he's definitely pointing towards those, significant U.S. import duties on goods from places like China. That's really changed the math for U.S. buyers, hasn't it? Pushed companies like Canaan to look at local production. He also stressed that for buyers right now, the priorities are rapid deployment, return on investment, and reliability. These are key again. So if you cant this to the bigger picture, this trend, this domestic manufacturing support, it implies a pretty big shift towards, supply chain resilience and strategic positioning in tech, especially with these external pressures. It's about control, faster deployment of these really critical machines.
Okay, so at the heart of the strategy, there's the actual hardware. Let's talk about that. These Avalon A15 Pro miners, what makes them tick? Why are they so important for Cipher's plans?
Well, the A15 Pro, it's built for high performance. Each one pushes out an average hash rate of about 221 terahashes per second. That's THS. And its power efficiency is around 16.6 joules per terahash, or JTH. So just to clarify for you listening, hash rate is basically the raw computing power, how fast the machine can guess solutions for the Bitcoin puzzle, right? More guesses, more chances to earn Bitcoin. Power efficiency, the JTH number, tells you how much electricity it uses for that computing power. Lower is better means less energy cost, which is absolutely vital for mining profits, especially lately.
Right, so nearly 7,000 of these powerful and efficient machines going to Cipher's Black Pearl facility. The expectation is they'll cause a, quote, meaningful and rapid increase in the facility's total hash rate. That's a big boost for Cipher. And this isn't just a one-off purchase, is it? This is actually Cipher's fourth order from Canaan. So it's not a new relationship. They've done business before several times.
That's a great point. It really is. In an industry like crypto mining, which is so dynamic, so competitive, technology changes fast. Markets are volatile of fourth order. That's more than just liking the current tech specs. It's a real vote of confidence in Canaan. It says a lot about their reliability as a partner, the performance of their team over time, and that kind of stability, that proven trust, it lets both companies plan bigger infrastructure projects with more certainty instead of just, chasing the absolute newest, maybe unproven hardware, which can be pretty risky sometimes.
Okay, so to really get the full picture here, maybe we should zoom out a bit. Look at Canaan itself. For those who might not know, Canaan has a really interesting history in this space, particularly with ASIC technology. Can you maybe shed some light on their beginnings?
Oh, absolutely. Canaan goes way back, founded in 2013. That makes them practically ancient in crypto years. Their main focus from the start was ASIC, design these high-performance chips plus R&D, making the actual equipment, and the software side too. They build the specialized gear that makes large-scale Bitcoin mining possible. And yeah, the fascinating bit you mentioned, back in 2013, Canaan's founders shipped the world's first batch of ASIC-based Bitcoin miners ever under the Avalon brand. So they basically invented modern Bitcoin mining hardware as we know it. And, their journey didn't stop there. They went public, completed their IPO on the NASDAQ Global Market in 2019, which really cemented their status as a major publicly traded tech company on the global stage.
So wrapping things up for today, this Canaan Cipher deal, it's clearly more than just buying and selling machines. It really signals some major strategic shifts going on in Bitcoin mining, things driven by, market demand coming back, but also these changing global supply chain realities.
Right. And maybe a final thought for you to consider. As Bitcoin's price keeps hitting new highs and the demand for this specialized hardware just gets more intense, how is this interplay going to evolve between, say, geopolitics, these localized manufacturing efforts like Canaan's U.S. move, and ongoing tech innovation, especially as miners find new power sources and everyone keeps adapting to things like tariffs? It's a complex picture.
It really is a fascinating mix of technology, economics, international trade, all highlighted by this one agreement. Definitely something to keep an eye on.